Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome. Welcome to another INFJ Ramble. I don't know what inspires me to make a video, but I do know usually it's motivated by a feeling that I feel. And the feeling is usually inspired by life. Life is such a beautiful thing, regardless of the experiences that we encounter and witness, because I know some of these experiences can be quite painful. And I don't know if you guys have watched my videos for some time, but I know in some videos I seem, I want to say, jovial in spirits. And let me tell you guys, I had to go through a lot to get to a place where I can be content and happy and peaceful with myself. It was not an easy path or journey. I feel like most people that don't know me very well will just think I'm the happiest person in the world. But like all things, people don't really see what trials and tribulations I had to go through, and I continue to go through, to be able to tap into that depth of happiness and peace within myself. I think a lot of people see the outcome, but they don't see the steps it took to get to that place. But before we start this ramble, let us take the time to be present, to be grateful for everything and everyone that we have encountered up until now. The good, the bad, the dark, the light, everything. Because, you need everything in order to become more of who you are. You know what I mean? It's funny because, yeah, I can be super happy and super excited, but on the opposing end of that spectrum, I can also feel the depth of despair. I've actually, funny thing is, I've actually been trying to heal and process some pretty heavy stuff for the past few months. The thing is, I give myself time to process these things. I don't run from them. I don't hide. I don't put them on the back burner. I literally face these things as they come up. And it's funny because people expect you to be talking about some type of physical thing. Physical things, how do I say, are easier to contend with than the invisible things. And what do I mean by invisible things? The mental and the emotional things that can't be seen with the eye. They can only be felt from within. Those are the wounds the wounds that people can't see, that are the hardest to contend with, right? But INFJs have the resilience and the determination and the will and the courage to face these things. So, let us take a moment to honor those aspects of ourselves that do the work, honor the aspects of ourselves that could hold a grudge and at times will hold a grudge, but in the end, have the heart to forgive, to understand, What was I going to touch on in this video? I think people mistake our kindness for weakness, our loving and generous nature for weakness, the light that we want to shine in this world as weakness. And I think for a long time, because we are so giving and so loving and so caring and so nurturing and so understanding, for a long time, we've been outletting these attributes in our interactions, right? And I think a lot of people mistake that for weakness. But what they don't know is what we're offering to the people in our interactions are actually blessings and gifts in disguise. And that even though we may seem like we are soft, and we are, they fail to realize that on the opposing end of that extreme, we can also be hard. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I do have a pretty long tolerance level. It was much longer when I was younger for abuse. I guess you want to say abuse. I kept giving people chances over and over and over again, hoping that they would redeem themselves, hoping that somehow my love and care and understanding and my forgiving nature would help these people to turn around. And you know what? Maybe it did. Maybe it does after I walk away from situations. Maybe it doesn't. That is not my responsibility to tend to. I can only be who I am in this world and then let things be. Maybe those people needed that love and that care and the support because they've never experienced it before. Maybe not. As long as I know I'm being authentic and true to myself, that's all I can do. But for me, I get to a point where, especially in relationships, where it gets to a point where I've taken on too much of that person's pain and I need to walk away. I've taken enough, I guess I've allowed too much disrespect to incur in this situation, and I need to walk away. Is it self-preservation? Yes. Is it self-love? Yes. Is it self-respect? Yes. And we need to realize that I know this may be hard to hear, but we encounter people. Every single person we encounter up until now was divinely orchestrated so that an exchange could occur. You know? I think I've mentioned in previous videos that if I didn't encounter the people who brought pain to my life, I probably wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't have acquired access to knowledge and wisdom, to self-awareness, to different dimensions of my consciousness if I did not encounter these people. So to some degree, I thank them. I thank them for giving me the key to access more of myself. You know? I think anyone who triggers anything in you is presenting you with an opportunity to look towards yourself. You know? It's funny, like anything, you know. This is a stupid analogy, but you know, in order to bake a cake, depending on the type of cake you're baking, there's a certain time frame that this cake needs to be in the oven, right? Whether it be, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Same with experiences, I feel. Like I said, that was a really stupid analogy, but I feel like when you go through a situation that's painful, in order for you to really, really be able to obtain that key, there's a certain amount of time that needs to be experienced in this situation in order for you to fully get what that person is teaching you, in order for you to get the key. If you pull the cake out of the oven too early, obviously it's not going to be completed. If you pull the cake out too late, it's completely baked out, like baked beyond comprehension. So it's like every interaction that you have, whether it be loving and kind and full of, like, I don't know, just love and kindness and care, or just despair and pain and I don't know, and anything that you can think of that doesn't make you feel good, obviously. A certain amount of time is required in order for you to fully experience that experience. And you know, we are all teachers and students, and we are all just witnessing and experiencing ourselves through another person. You know, I know that sounds so crazy to think about, but think about it. The people that you encounter is basically you, an aspect of you that you're either denying or you're acknowledging. Maybe both, you know? But yeah, people mistake our kindness for weakness. It's actually quite comical, because even though I can be the kindest and most loving and most caring and most understanding person you will ever meet. I have this joke. Is it a joke? I guess it's equivalent to a door slam, but it's stealthier. You know, I would tell my friend it's an invisible sword that I carry, you know? So whenever I feel like somebody has, I don't know, overstayed their welcome in my reality by abusing me over and over and over again, even though I have tried to repair it over and over and over again, I get to a breaking point where I can no longer tolerate the misbehavior, I suppose, and I will cut these people out of my life. You know? And at some point, it's weird. I oscillate, and I don't know how I cast my decisions, but some people I will cut out, and I will nothing you. I will nothing you. And what I mean by nothing you is you will have no access to me ever again. You will have no access to my time, my energy. You will not even have, you won't even be able to rent space in my head. Like, you will be absolutely extracted, you know, mentally, emotionally extracted, you know. It's funny, I still hold love for these people, but it's at a distance. And when I say nothing you, that means I can still feel love for you. I can still forgive you, but you will not be able to penetrate my reality because I will nothing you. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I call my energy back. It's important, guys, to call your energy back. You know, because if not, you have cords attached to people and they can still siphon your energy. You know, but they've proven that they don't have access to that anymore, because you know that we have a certain light to us, a high vibrational frequency that feeds, you know. So I pull my cord, I pull the cord back. I cut it. I cut energetic cords and I recall my power back. Call your power back to you, cleansed and recharged, because you don't want to call your energy back from somebody who's been siphoning it, that's at a low vibrational state, because that will affect you, you know. And that's reclaiming your power. There was somebody in a forum that I posted in, and they asked me, what do you mean by reclaim your power? Reclaiming your power is taking your power back, you know. And yeah, what does that mean? So when you encounter pain, usually you have two choices. The first choice is to take that pain and to perpetuate it. What do I mean by perpetuate it? Continue living that pain over and over again, or even inflicting that pain onto someone else or others. That's perpetuating cycles, you know? Or, second one, which is harder to do, is you can take that pain that the people gave you and transmute it into power. You know, power meaning breaking cycles, not choosing not to inflict that same pain onto others, instead radiating, like burning it in through transmutation, you know, and then illuminating it in a way that it brings more healing, you know. And in that way, you become the self. You bring your power back. You know, you turn the pain into power. You become your own remedy. You know, you don't perpetuate it. I don't know if my recording made sense, but if you took something away from this, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. But always remember that your love and your care and your kindness and your generosity and your understanding, your compassion, your grace, your patience is not a weakness. By far, it is the opposite. It is your power. It's just up to you to know how to regulate this, know when to retract yourself from situations and people that are just taking too much, you know? Because the world needs more of that. And if we close ourselves up and we refuse to share these gifts with people, the people who need it most will not be able to receive, you know? But at the same time, just knowing and being able to discern when enough is enough, and pulling out that sword and cutting, you know, and only you know what is, you know what you can handle, you know what you can tolerate, you know what is, you know, good for you. Doesn't mean you love anyone any less. I still love all the people who have inflicted pain on me. Do I have them, do they have a, how do I say, do they have access to me? No, but I still love them. But no, like, their access is denied. That's all I have to say. Blessings.